Civilization or Barbarism, an Authentic Anthropology by Dr. Cheikh Anta. The Revolution in Athens. Athens would go from the individualism of the Eupatridae of noble birth to end up also with the imperialism of the all powerful state following a parallel evolution, but with notorious differences that we will not fail to stress. In Sparta, in the 6th century, the much diminished royalty still continued to struggle against the Ephroyalty, the Lacedaemonian institution of 5 magistrates installed each year as a check on regal power. But in Athens, the royalty had long been conquered, and the power was entirely in the hands of the aristocracy, which, from the 6th century onward, was confronted only by the people. The reforms of Draco, Solon, and Cleisthenes were going to blaze the trail for the period of popular struggles that were about to take place. The reform of Draco corresponds to a period when Athens was almost mired in murder and anarchy. The feeling of anxiety and the climate of pessimism that overwhelmed Greece at the turn of the 6th century clearly reflected the rise of the popular forces, which would no longer stop acting to dethrone the aristocracy and to modify profoundly the structures of the state in order to subordinate them to the public welfare. If one takes into consideration the declarations of Athens, according to which she was spared by the Dorian invasion, this might explain to a large extent the evolutionary peculiarities of the Athenian state. In fact, this would mean that the different genos that reigned over the primitive populations of Attica between the 12th and 8th centuries BCE constituted an indigenous nobility of some kind, because it stemmed from previous, perhaps Mycenaean migrations. The land originally belonged to these nobles and to the free peasantry who were the first occupants of the land, all of them forming a pseudo national complex, a city in gestation, whose structure corresponds perfectly to Marx's antique mode of production, even if the institution of the Roman ager publicus is not clearly attested to. For this reason, one could more correctly speak of the antique mode of ownership. This Athenian nobility was already lulled by time and the sedentary life, even though retracting its origins back to the gods in the manner of pharaohs of Egypt. It was much less bellicose than the Dorian hordes, who, coming out of nomadic life, conquered Messenia and Laconia in the Peloponnesus. But these different genos, or gene, had not yet accepted a rigorous common law. The conflicts between clans were settled by customary law. The dike, the vendetta, was the rule. Murder was avenged, not by society, but by the family, the genos. Similarly, each genos was sovereign over its own territory, and we will see that the fusion of the genos into a single true Athenian people will not be accomplished until the reform of Cleisthenes in the 4th century BCE. What is going on? What is going to occur in Attica between the 8th and the 4th centuries BCE? And we'll stop right there. Continue back with Civilization or barbarism? I'm Uriel. Hi,